It's like a reality TV show slash documentary. I'm feeling really petty today. Hello, welcome. My name is Faye. I am dropping an album, The Breath It Takes.
Awesome.
I don't know what to say. Okay, I gotta get warmed up. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Okay, let's do this. When I recorded this album, the vision behind it was I wanted to sound as live as possible. So it's just piano and it's just live vocals. There's nothing to it. And so when you listen to this album, I want you to imagine you're in this auditorium and I'm on this stage just singing to you and you're alone. And that's the connection I want with this album. I started singing literally since I could talk. I would just sing about everything. I would go to church with my grandma and sing hymns, and she noticed that I could sing, and she told my parents, like, you need to put this girl in voice lessons. So when I was 9, I started taking voice lessons with Pam Brumley. I took lessons with her until I was 17, and then she moved away. And I was really sad. But then I started taking lessons with Dr. Allen at Missouri Southern, and it's been great. So the piano journey was kind of like, I think, fate how it happened, because it kind of happened by accident. So my grandma Carol used to have bonfires, and she would have them up on the hill. And so when I was little, I was a pretty hyper girly and I got bored really easily. So one of these bonfires, I decided to walk down the hill and go to Grandma's house, and she has this piano in there. So I walked down the hill and I went to Grandma's house and I sat in front of the piano that she had, and My Heart Will Go On from the Titanic was sitting there. And so I figured out what the notes on the piano were, because at that time I could read sheet music, so I knew what it was on paper. So I figured out what it was on the piano, and from there on I've just been playing the piano. I'm still standing, can't you see me out here? So the ice in my pants. My first song in my album is about my first love. So this song starts really happy. So this song starts really happy, and really have nothing bad to say about this guy. He, out of the whole album, like, he's a good one. We lived together for a while. We dated high school and college. Grew apart, and we're still friends, and there's just nothing to say about that one. This album was songs that I've written from, like, all my boyfriends. I'm about to call, ex-boyfriends. Yes, thank you. Ex-boyfriends. Sorry, Griffey, baby, boo-boo. So
Know your place, boys.
Dr. Pepper, anyone? So my third song in my album is actually Standing, not the second. I'm so sorry. I lied. I'm starting over. So Sad is about this narcissist I dated. He's an Olympian now, so I'm glad things worked out for him. I started dating him after I got out of my 4.5-year relationship. I was always spoiled to the thought of if someone loves you or likes you, they're gonna treat you good. And so when I got into this relationship, I figured, he would treat me good. Then he got like really controlling, and like I had to look a certain way. So like I wasn't allowed to wear makeup all of a sudden. I had to weigh 170 pounds. If I got up too much or too little, he didn't want to be with me. He'd always be like, we have to breed athletes, and if we have kids, they have to be Olympians and athletes. So like I wasn't allowed to eat certain foods. Like he would show up at the gym that I was working out just to like make sure I was working out the way he wanted me to. Like he would always talk so down on like women in general, like thinking they're not worthy. And he was just like brainwashing me and bringing me down. It was just constant. Like I was constantly in fight and flight mode. I started lashing out on like my friends and family because I was just always like frantic. I felt like I was constantly disappointing him and never good enough, and always thought he was going to leave me for someone else. And so I wrote So Sad, just about like how sad it is now looking back, with all the things he put me through, and I just didn't see it at the time. Boo boo boo, what are you doing? It's really funny. I look back about this a lot because I was 17 when I wrote this song, and I'm so creative because once you hear this song, it's called Standing. It's literally about, so I dated this other guy. This is how he was though. Like when we dated, he would literally like gaslight the shit out of me. I could be shooting a fucking music video for all he knows. Like, and he really treated me like not good. I'm a small town girl, so the only thing to do is hang out in the high school parking lot in truck circles. So that's what I would do. But there'd be like different truck circles because high school's cliquey, so there's different truck circle cliques. So my ex that I was like so sad over was always across the parking lot, and I'd always just be like, I wish he could see me over here, like I'm so sad, like why doesn't he want to be with me? And so I wrote this song literally about standing in a parking lot far away from each other. But when you hear this song, you would never think that. But I was just really sad, and I wrote it, and it's really cool.
Why haven't you put yourself out there sooner?
A lot of it's insecurity. So when I was in high school, I was like writing music and I was releasing them, and everyone was like, yo, this is awesome. Well, then other people started like jumping on SoundCloud and like doing the same thing, which was great, but everyone started like hyping up them and not me, and then started getting like really hateful with me, like, why can't you write upbeat music like these other people? Like, why are your songs so sad? Like, blah, 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 blah. And so like I started getting like super in my head, to the point where like I couldn't write music for a while because I was like, I would sit down at the piano and I would just hear everyone's comments and opinions, and so I was just like, and it got to the point where I just like wasn't even writing for myself at that point anymore, and I was like, I hate this. So I like took some time off, and then I like got to the age where I could like work in bars. So I've been working in bars, and like I would always have like musicians would come in and play on the weekends, and they'd always be like upbeat and like fun bands and stuff, and I'm like, man, I would love to do that, but no one's gonna like me because I play like ballads, and I'm a classically trained musician. It's hard. That's just the style I like. So I'm like, man, I'm never gonna be able to like do that. Well, since working on this album, I've realized, okay, I don't need to be in dive bars. No one wants to listen to ballads in dive bars. I need to be performing at weddings and like country clubs and vineyards, like, and so that's what inspired the idea for my album debut to be in a vineyard and everyone dress up and we have wine and I I play the piano and sing for them, and it's just a nice formal event. And that's when I'm like, okay, I can do this. Like, I'm not a musician that's gonna play a guitar in a dive bar, and that's totally fine. And I need to stop bringing myself down about it, because I'm me and I can't help it. That's just how I write, so. Is that a good angle? You gotta tell me if I look bad, Keaton, okay?
Can you walk us through your songwriting process for this album?
So, there's not really a process when you're a musician. Sometimes I'll think of like a clever phrase. Like right now I'm working on a song, Never Had a Love Like This, because me and Griffin were in the car and I was just like, man, I've never had a love like this. And then we were both like, never had a love like this, like, so it might be a country hit. Whenever I write, I tend to just like sit down. Like there's days where I'm like, damn it, I'm writing a song. So I'll just sit down and I will just play different like chord progressions, or I'll just kind of goof around and then I'll kind of like hear something. So a lot of times it starts like that, and then there's other times I will hum a melody with the piano and not have words forever. And then there's other times where I have words before I know what I want to do with the piano. And a lot of time it's just a guessing game, especially when I was younger, when I had no knowledge of theory. Now I have about to have 2 bachelor's degrees in music, and so I am very knowledgeable now on like theory, and it makes a lot more sense. So it's a lot easier now to write music because I know what chords should go, like a 1-5-1 or 1-4-5. There's things that musicians just know. So that's kind of my process. I don't know if other musicians have a similar one or if they're all just like making stuff up. I mean, it's just like probably someone when they're painting, they just start somewhere and then it turns into something. That's kind of what I do. So, but yeah.
Where does most of your support come from?
My family. My grandma literally shows up to everything. My mom and dad, my sister, my brother-in-law Kevin's like my #1 fan, and Michaela, my sister-in-law. I promise. Anyway, Griffin's like kind of supportive sometimes. That's probably his red flag. I'm just kidding. Griffin's probably my #1 fan, I'd say. Even if I had no one showing up to my shows, I know there at least will be 1 row full, and it's my family and my friends. 1, 2, 3, come with me, let's explore the sea. Count with me, galaxies of the memories waiting to be. Run with me, sing with me, laugh with me, and cry with me. So I Can't Do This Anymore is really about my music, but it flows so well with my album that I put it in there, because a lot of people assume it's about a boy, but it's actually about this one time. So I told you guys about how everyone would just constantly give me crap about my music, like why isn't it upbeat, why isn't it this, why isn't it that. So like this was the like cherry on the cake, like cherry on top of why I quit writing for a little bit. So I was invited to sing at this like music festival by my ex, and the day of the festival he messaged me and was like, you probably shouldn't come because no one's gonna like you because it's all like rap music and stuff, and you'd probably just bring the event down. and I literally just lost it. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I was like, I'm done. Like, I literally don't know why I write music anymore. And so I wrote that song about that. What was the question?
Were there any particular challenges you faced while creating this album?
Yeah. So this was honestly really surprising, but it makes sense now that I've had time to process the last 6 months. I was going through a breakup when I decided to start this, so obviously I was heartbroken. And then I met Griffey Baby Boo Boo Bear, and so I was like in love and happy. And then I'm like diving into these songs, I'm recording them, I'm deciding like which songs are going in there, and it's like just bringing back a lot of feelings. I felt like the past 6 months have been just like all about my ex-boyfriends, so I honestly can't wait to like be done with this so that I can like not ever have to think about them again. I think it's gonna be such good therapy. Like, honestly, this has been good therapy, and then I'll be able to just be like, so emotionally it's been difficult, and then I've had some just like technical difficulties with just like the events that I've planned, which I'm learning a lot. I also do like marketing on the side. That's what I do to pay my bills, so it's been a lot of like good practicing for like event planning and marketing. So it's been hard, but it's been rewarding, and I'm really excited for the end result. So Don't Play Victim is about my most recent ex that cheated on me. He would cheat on me all the time, and I would take him back. And when I broke up with him this last time, he literally said to me, I've been working so hard to not cheat on you. All for what? All for what? And I'll never forget like him crying and like just playing victim, like I'm the bad guy. And I'll never forget like just being like, I hope like this work, you've been going to therapy and like all this stuff to not cheat on me, you like, that's not a bad thing. Like, it's making you a better person. So if anything, like hopefully you're becoming better. And I don't know, I'll just never forget that conversation. Like, he literally was just like, all of this was for nothing, like blah blah, and just crying and I don't want anybody but you. And then immediately was with someone. He literally, we got matching tattoos, and like the day after we broke up, he covered it up and then had sex with the girl who did it. So I'm like, this is why we broke up.
Go. Which song means the most to you?
Those change a lot. I'll like play one song and then I'll get sick of it, and then I'm like, oh, this one's so good, and then I'm like, right now, this song means so much to me just because I've been in a writer's block for 2 years, almost 3. And I think a lot of it was just being in abusive relationships. It's hard to have that creative outlet when you're in fight and flight mode all the time. So it was crazy. I was in this relationship where all he would do is cheat on me and lie, and it was just really hard. And then once I got out, I wrote a song immediately, and I hadn't wrote in so long, and it's the last song on my album, and it's called I Deserve Love. So I finally just woke up one day and I was like, if I have a daughter with this man, I'm showing my child that it's okay to let a man cheat on you and lie and abuse you and put you through hell, and I deserve so much. Every single one of you human beings out there, male or female, deserve love and deserve to be treated good no matter what you've done. We're all human beings. We've all made mistakes. We've all done shitty things. But I don't think this world would have meaning if it wasn't for love. Love is the most powerful feeling on the planet. Love can either make or break your day. If you're heartbroken, everything around you sucks. If you're happy, everything's brighter, colors taste better, you know, like if there wasn't love, us being here would be completely pointless. And so no matter if you're a shitbag or not, you deserve love. And if you're a great person, you deserve love. And if you're in the middle, you deserve love. So my song, I Deserve Love, is for everyone out there. If you've been in an abusive relationship or not, I mean, still, we deserve love. And so I wrote that, and it's probably the simplest song I've ever written. There's not much to it. It's not very complex, but it is so powerful. Like, it just really means a lot to me. So, yeah. Bags deserve love eventually.
So, one last question. Have you found love?
I deserve love. I deserve love. I deserve love. I deserve